This is look at this back cover. Isn't that exciting? There's nothing there. Hi guys, Keytrue64 here, and today I'm going to be sharing my Blu-ray collection. As I said in my last Blu-ray collection video where I covered sci-fi, I'm covering this by genres because the video would be way too long and I just don't want an 1.5 to 2 hour video. So by splitting it into sections, I think that's going to work out. And I'm going to be posting these every Tuesday until we're done. And I'm actually filming these the weekend before, so yeah, I'm not filming all of this together. I'd probably lose my voice going over all of these movies because I already tried to do that, and that's exactly what happened. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the action section Die Hard collection. Of course, this is a prerequisite. God, honestly, I love pretty much all the Die Hard movies. One is awesome. I love the second one, The Airport. Also, the first one's one of the best Christmas movies ever made. Die Hard with a Vengeance, Sam Jackson's in it. A long time past, they brought him back for Live Free or Die Hard, where he has to fight like cyber criminals. That was awesome. However, Good Day to Die Hard is one of the only movies I've ever seen in theaters where I legit got up and, well, I walked out. It took me about 10 minutes to bring myself to go back and finish watching it. I hated A Good Day to Die Hard. The fifth movie was so terrible. You can tell they didn't care. There was just no care put into that. It was just you can't even tell it was a Die Hard movie. Terrible. That's my thought on Die Hard movies. And I have a separate copy of Live Free or Die Hard. I think I bought this when I worked at Blockbuster, and that's the only reason why. Yeah, if I didn't mention it this video, I used to work at Blockbuster, which is why all of my movies, or probably why all of them are split up by genre. Expendables 4K edition, a lot of fun, cheesy, over the top, 80s, callbacks. Expendables is really, really good. And I actually liked Expendables 2 even better. I know it's still in the wrapping. I actually just upgraded the Blu-ray to 4K. Was it Black Friday? It was either last Black Friday or the Black Friday before that. I don't know, but I know I upgraded to 4K at the time. And I actually really liked Expendables 2. It was arguably even more over the top and more fun than the first one. Now, I don't own the third one. Why do I not own the third Expendables? That one was terrible. I did not like the Expendables 3. They went to a PG-13 rating, and the plot was dumb, and I don't know what they were thinking with the third one. I mean, not that you really have to put a whole lot of thought into them, but Ip Man. This is the trilogy. If you guys have not seen Ip Man and you love martial arts movies, well, most likely if you love martial arts movies, you've seen Ip Man. Ip Man is the grandmaster of Bruce Lee. And it's just really awesome. Like in the first one, you deal with Japan taking over China. The second one, I think he fights a boxer or something. The third one, he fights some real estate guy. Third one's not as memorable as the first two. But the first one has one of the best fight scenes in any martial arts movie that I've ever seen. Honestly, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. When he's fighting for the rice. Man, Ip Man's great. Hateful Eight. This is still in the package. I bought this on Black Friday. I'm not a huge Tarantino fan, which I've mentioned before. However, I've loved more of his recent movies. I love Django, and I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably one of my top movies of the year, if not my top movie of last year. However, this isn't even the extended version. So, I think the extended version's on Netflix right now. So if I do decide to watch this, I'll probably watch that one. Most people say the extended version is better. If you guys have seen Hateful Eight and you've seen the regular and the extended edition, let me know which one you guys think is better. Right now, I have a whole laundry list of things to catch up on. So this is towards the bottom of my list, but I do need to get around to checking this out. Gladiator and Troy, double feature. I said this before, usually when they have these double features, you end up with a good movie, some movie that you want, and then some terrible throwaway movie. However, I actually like both of these movies. And I particularly got it for Gladiator, because Gladiator is a better movie. However, I really like Troy as well. I love the story of Achilles. Both of these are really good. This was a really good deal. I don't remember. I think I only paid like $5 for both of these, which is crazy good. I know Gladiator came out with a 4K. I had not seen the 4K of Gladiator. I'm kind of curious to see what that picture looks like in comparison to this. I'll probably have to check out some reviews. Again, if you guys know, comment and let me know. And Entrapment. This was released in 1999. Why did I know that? Because I have a special coming out for you guys called Back to the Future, and I look at movies from 1999. This is one of them. It's got Sean Connery, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and it's just a fun heist movie. And I just realized I totally went out of order, because the first thing in the action section should have been this, 007 Spectre. It's still in the wrapping. Sorry, they're going to be out of alphabetical order, but I'm going to cover everything. Spectre. Why do I own Spectre separately? Because it came out after the Bond collection, which is right back here. I could literally spend a whole video talking about Bond movies, which I may do at some point. So I won't get too into them, telling you what my favorite are, putting them in order, talking about them. But I'm a huge Bond fan. And yeah, Spectre, it's still in the wrapping because I saw this in theaters and I was really, really, really let down by it. I thought it was a big waste of opportunity. I feel like Daniel Craig was phoning it in on this one. I don't think he really cared anymore, and I could feel that when I was watching it. You had Christoph Waltz as the villain, which should have been great because he was amazing in Django and Inglourious Basterds and all the other stuff he's been in. But he's wasted in this. Like, the script was bad from the get-go. I actually enjoyed Quantum of Solace better than this one, and most people consider Quantum of Solace the worst Daniel Craig movie. To me, it was Spectre. I think Spectre was worse than Quantum of Solace, but maybe I should watch it again to really get an opinion on it. Sorry for the hard cut there. My memory card filled up somehow, so I just had to replace it. So back to this. I'm pretty sure I finished talking about Spectre before it cut out. If I didn't, I'm sorry, guys. Next up is 300, Rise of an Empire. 300, Rise of an Empire was okay, I guess. I'm not going to give it a high recommend. 300 was awesome. It's really a shame that when you go back and watch 300, it feels really dated and kind of bad because it was parodied and the style was copied so many times. 300 is honestly Zack Snyder at his best. I think that's one of his best movies he's done. I know the cool thing is to kind of hate on Zack Snyder. He's definitely a love him or hate him kind of guy. I like him when he does good movies, and I'll call him out when he does bad movies. It's pretty much as simple as that. I'll tell the truth. Like I always say, guys. But 300 was one of his best movies. 310 to Yuma was a really cool Western. This came out in 2009, I believe. I actually worked at Blockbuster when this came out. And I bought it probably when I worked at Blockbuster as well. This came out in a desert of no Westerns really coming out. We're still kind of in a desert of Western movies. They don't come out very often. But I remember this being pretty good. But I honestly haven't seen it in probably about 9 years. So maybe I should go back and check it out. And Baby Driver. This is open. I have opened it. I love Baby Driver. It was one of my top movies of that year. Is Edgar Wright, who is the director of Scott Pilgrim and Hot Fuzz, two of my favorite Edgar Wright movies, but I love Baby Driver. This was great. This is basically what Fast and Furious should be, but it's not. Can we end Fast and Furious, please? They're tapped out. They're tapped out, especially when you have awesome movies coming out like Baby Driver. Book of Eli, Denzel Washington. Again, you see that? It's got the rental on it. Yep, I bought it when I worked at Blockbuster. Again, if you see these things with the rentals on them, I bought them when I worked at Blockbuster, and I bought new Blu-ray cases and replaced the cases they came in with Blu-ray cases. Although I kind of wish I still had some of the Blockbuster cases too. I think they all got chucked. They might be worth something now. I don't know. I just kind of want them from nostalgia. But anyway, back to Book of Eli. Book of Eli is a really good movie. It's got Gary Oldman, Denzel Washington, and Mila Kunis in it. I don't really want to talk about it because it kind of can ruin it. And if you've not seen it, because there's a pretty cool twist in here, and it's pretty interesting. It's post-apocalyptic. There's actually a movie coming out this year with Tom Hanks, and it's supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic, he's the last man on Earth style. There's no poster out, there's no trailer out or anything else, but maybe the style is going to be similar to this. I don't know, it's kind of random, but... And Bad Boys 1 and 2. I know the third one just came out. I don't have any interest in seeing it, so I didn't see it, so that's why there's no review here. I'm not a huge Bad Boys fan. I actually got a really great deal on this, $5 for both of them. So that's the reason why I own them. These are Michael Bay movies. Michael Bay has made good movies. I mean, he really has. The Transformers just kind of shot it down the tube. One of his best movies is actually called The Island, which I don't own on Blu-ray, but I have it in my DVD cases over there. Yeah, I didn't mention that. I literally have hundreds of other movies that are in DVD boxes somewhere else. These are just my Blu-rays and 4Ks, but Bad Boys. It's all right. Bad Boys 1 and 2 are all right. They're nothing special. I was not clamoring for a third one, so I didn't really have an interest in seeing it. If you guys have seen the third one and you like the other ones, just let me know what you think. Maybe I'll check it out when it comes out, but didn't have any interest in seeing it in theaters. And the Bourne collection. This has all 5 movies currently out. I say currently out because the way Hollywood's going, who knows, there may be a random 6th, 7th, or 8th one at some point. This has the 5 movies that are currently out. The original 3, which are great movies. Then you had Jeremy Renner, which most people don't talk about that one. And then you had the 5th one. The 5th one was a major letdown to me. Honestly, I remember more from the Jeremy Renner movie than the 5th one with Matt Damon. And it may be a better movie. I may be controversial to say, but I really was let down by this 5th Bourne movie because I was expecting a lot more than what I got, but oh well. So I have a collection. I also got some steelbooks somewhere else, which I'll show eventually, but moving right along, Django Unchained. This is in a really weird package. So it's got a slip in there, and it's kind of cool. You got Christoph Waltz, and there's Django, there's your discs. Kind of a weird box. Probably one of the weirdest boxes I have on my shelf. But it is kind of cool, and I love Django. Django's a great movie. Like I said before, Django and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood were in my top, well, definitely my top 50 movies of the decade, the video that I did before. Django's great. It was just next level. Leonardo DiCaprio should have got a Best Supporting Actor for this, and they just hate him, I guess. I can't believe the one he got it for was The Revenant. Whatever. Demolition Man. This one is great. So you got a badass cop who gets frozen and then released in the future into a city where they can't say curse words. They don't know what violence is, and he has to fight Wesley Snipes. This is like one of the last movies to come out with that over-the-top 90s feel to it, and I love Demolition Man. This is just so good. I love the future that they build in this. This was one of Sylvester Stallone's best movies, in my opinion. All right, moving right along, guys. We got the Indiana Jones. Whoa, slipped out. The Indiana Jones collection. This is a must-have if you're building a Blu-ray collection, obviously. It's actually a pretty cool package. I kind of want I don't know, for some reason I want a cooler collection. Maybe they have a cooler collection of it. It is kind of cool how it's set up like a book. I don't know if you guys own this one or not, but yeah, it's kind of cool how it's set up like a book. But obviously, what else is there to say about Indiana Jones? I could say that the third one, The Last Crusade, the third one, is actually my favorite, believe it or not. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, but Last Crusade's actually my favorite one. I think I watched it the most as a kid. That was the only Indiana Jones movie we had for a long time, so that's one I watched the most. I love Sean Connery as the dad. Temple of Doom, man, as a kid, I was like, am I allowed to watch this? The dude just ripped out somebody's heart. And then the fourth one, Crystal Skull. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it isn't. I don't know if it's quite as bad as some of the hate it's getting. It's nowhere near as good as the first three. Is it unnecessary? Yes. Is it dumb? Is there too much green screen? Yes. There's some dumb stuff in there, but there were some things that were all right in it. It's kind of like, it felt like a TV movie almost. It didn't feel like the same kind of quality, that's for sure. John Wick 1. Man, what a surprise. I remember going to see this in theaters, and I was just like, I didn't have any expectations for it, and I was just blown away. This is one of the best action movies, if not the best action movie of the last decade. Oh, what a surprise. I love John Wick. Keanu Reeves is back. I'm thinking I'm back. And John Wick 2. Not as good as the first one, but pretty close, which is, for as far as sequels go, is no small task. Yeah, John Wick 2 was great. It built on the mythology. And this is the Steelbook edition of John Wick 3. It's got like that weird pop art to it. It looks really sweet. I actually really like the case. What can I say about John Wick 3? It's good. It's good. Next up is Kick-Ass. I love Kick-Ass. I think Kick-Ass is awesome. The second one, however, if I can even hold it up correctly, not as good. Not as good. Not even half as good as the first one. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie, but compared to the first ones, no, it's not any good. However, first Kick-Ass is so awesome. I actually still have my Blockbuster poster of Kick-Ass that was hanging in the window, which is about the size of this entire Blu-ray shelf. It's a huge poster. I don't really have any place to put it at, but Kick-Ass is great. I love Kick-Ass. But even more than that, I love this, Kingsman, The Secret Service, Matthew Vaughn. This was great. I loved Kingsman. Again, what a big surprise. This was one of the best movies of that year. And it set up so much potential. I wanted to see more about this. This was actually released the same year as Spectre, the other Bond movie. So a riff on Bond movies was better than the Bond movie. I love the church scene with Freebird playing. I was so excited for the sequel. And then the sequel came out, and it was this, The Golden Circle. I hated this movie. I hated it. This was the biggest disappointment. One of the biggest disappointments of the last decade, easily. This just took everything the first one did and just took a massive dump on it in the first couple minutes. Yep, going in the garbage. Next up is Last Action Hero. If you guys have not seen Last Action Hero, it is great. And if you can buy the poster for Last Action Hero, because this is just such an awesome poster. Like, I'm just imagining as a kid walking through the theater and seeing this poster in the theater and being like, I don't know what that is, but I have to see it. Basically, this kid gets sucked into an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and obviously the characters don't know they're in a movie, and you get the character meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays him in the movie. If you've not seen this, you definitely should. That is one of the most underrated movies from the 90s. I love it. I think it got terrible reviews when it came out, but I had so much fun as a kid watching that. I love that movie. And The Losers with Zoe Saldana and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think actually Chris Evans. Yep. Chris Evans is in this. Captain America's in this. Idris Elba's in this. This was honestly a pretty forgettable movie. Though it was based on a comic. I think it's a DC Vertigo line, The Losers. But most people don't remember it as a comic book movie. Most people don't remember it at all. I remember when it came out. I think it came out the same year as the A-Team movie, and I was like, this just looks like a worse version of the A-Team. It was okay. Again, it's got that rental down there at the bottom, so I've owned this since Blockbuster, and I don't think I've seen it since I worked at Blockbuster, so it's been a minute. And we got Mad Max Fury Road. This is the original release. I have thought about buying the other release. The other release actually had the black and white version of Mad Max, which I think would be really fun to watch. Although I don't know how often I would watch it. I'd watch it once out of curiosity because I love the colors in Mad Max. I love how saturated everything is. I love the style in here. I love the practical effects in here. The plot's kind of dumb, and I mean, it's just an escort mission from any random video game. And Mad Max really isn't even the main character here. Furiosa is. You can tell she's even front and center on the cover in front of Mad Max. So, yeah, I think it's kind of misleading. But either way, this was really good. This was one of the top movies of that year. And we got Man from U.N.C.L.E. This one was all right. If I remember correctly, Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, the two main characters in here, have opposite accents, which is kind of funny. I remember it being okay, but not really that memorable. Maybe a 6 out of 10. I have no idea. I feel like I'd have to watch it again. The cool thing about doing these collection videos, and this happened after I did the sci-fi collection video, is I found movies that I haven't seen in a long time and I really need to rewatch. So again, thank you guys for challenging me to do my Blu-ray collection video, because you guys are pointing out stuff in my collection that I just forgot about and didn't even think about watching again. So thanks, guys. But anyway, let me get off my little box and go back to the Blu-ray collection here. Magnificent Seven. This is still in the wrapping. It's still in the wrapping. I did like this movie. I really enjoyed it in theaters, but I guess as time went on, I just forgot about it. And I mean, I don't think I've seen it since I saw it in theaters. I remember enjoying it. Maybe I should go back and check it out. And Mission Impossible 6 film collection, which is pretty cool. It's got a book and a slip. It's one of those big giant Blu-ray cases, which are funny. Every single time I see one, I think it's funny. But yeah, Mission Impossible, what can I say? I didn't like it so much when it was out. I actually grew up with the TV show because my dad watched it whenever I was younger. So when the movie came out, I was really disappointed, because the whole point of the show was that it was a team of people with different skills that work together and do a mission. And really, these movies were just a action vehicle for Tom Cruise. And that was a massive disappointment. So, yeah, I didn't care for the first 3. I only watched the 4th one because Brad Bird directed it. And I enjoy Brad Bird's work. He did The Incredibles and he did Iron Giant. So I was like, oh, I want to see him in The Incredibles is basically a spy movie, so let's see what he does. And I really enjoyed it, and I've pretty much enjoyed the series ever since. I even went back and watched the first 3. I don't think they're as good as what they're coming out with now. I mean, this is probably the only franchise I can say that has gotten better. The later stuff is better than what came before, so. And some really good set pieces with practical effects. And The Mummy. This is the Steelbook collection. It's really cool. It's got that raised, I don't know what you call that. It's got a raised cover on it. The back's kind of plain, but yeah, I believe this has all 3 movies of The Mummy as well as Scorpion King, and restore Brendan Fraser. The Mummy was so. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed these movies. I even liked the 3rd one. The 3rd one's definitely the weakest out of all of them, and it's kind of dumb. I think you had Yetis in it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed The Mummy. Even The Scorpion King was okay. I mean, it was one of The Rock's first movies, so if you want to see what he was like whenever he first got into the movies, it's a good little flashback. Let's say good, but it's an interesting flashback. And National Treasure. This is honestly one of my favorite Nick Cage movies. I love it. This is so fun. This is probably my most viewed Nicolas Cage movie, believe it or not. I love that it takes a dive into history. Yeah, some of it's not 100% accurate, but it is what it is. And this was basically Indiana Jones, the closest thing we were going to get to Indiana Jones. And so I love it. I don't own the sequel. I did have it on DVD. I have not bought the Blu-ray version yet, so I want to upgrade. But the second one's all right too. It's not as good as the first one, but not bad. It's definitely worth buying. I just haven't bought it yet. And this one, The Nice Guys. This was such a great movie. If you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this year, you owe it to yourself to check out The Nice Guys. This is another period movie. And you have Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, great chemistry here. Ryan Gosling is so funny in this movie. This is a buddy cop movie done correctly. I love it. I've seen it multiple times. I'm really mad at myself for not seeing it in theaters. I don't even remember seeing commercials or anything for it when it came out in theaters. I don't know what was going on. I know it had bad marketing. I don't think they spent any money on the marketing for this. And so I just completely missed this, and I didn't check it out till it actually came out on physical media, and I saw it, and I was like, that looks interesting, got it, and it's amazing, amazing. I love it. I can't recommend Nice Guys enough. Great movie. And next up is Prince of Persia. Yes, the four disc. I actually bought it used. You see that? It's used. Honestly, wow. I don't, what is that sticker down there? I have no idea where I got this at. I must have got this at FYE. That's the only thing that makes sense. But as far as video game movies go, again, most of them are all terrible. I actually liked Prince of Persia. I thought it was all right. It's not the best thing ever, but as far as video game movies go, this is easily in the top couple video game movies. Prince of Persia was fun. I thought it was fun. Granted, it's nowhere close to the video game, but I thought it was fun. And Predator. This is the pop art Steelbook edition. Really cool. Obviously, Predator is a must-have in your collection. And the only one that I do have is the first Predator, because I really think that's the only one you really need to have. I wasn't a fan of the Danny Glover one, really. What was the next one? I think Aliens vs. Predator was the next one that came out, where they go in Alaska or something. That was okay. I mean, it's kind of dumb. And then the second one, Alien vs. Predator 2 came out. That was terrible. So, and then there was Predators with Adrian Brody. And then I think that was it. Oh no, then there was a recent Predators movie that came out. Yeah, it was directed by Shane Black. Believe it or not, Shane Black directed this. He directed this. He also directed that terrible Predators movie. I don't know what happened, because this is on a whole nother scale of great compared to that new Predators movie. I don't know what happened with that, but anyway. The first Predator is really the only one you need, in my opinion. And I have the Steelbook edition. And next up we have, I'm totally pulled and through everything. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. I actually have it on a poster right behind you. I have the official release poster of this movie. I love this movie. I love Curse of the Black Pearl. I've seen it countless times. So much fun. It hasn't aged at all. Easily still the best Pirates movie by leaps and bounds. This one was so much fun. I love the first Pirates Caribbean. And then, of course, I have 2 and 3, which I believe were both filmed at the same time. And they both started filming without completed scripts. And you can tell that when you're watching it. They're not bad, but compared to the first one, they're not as good. I think Dead Man's Chest, most people prefer it over At World's End. My problem with Dead Man's Chest is I think it went too dark. This one just felt too crowded. So they both have they both have weaknesses. But they're all right. And again, they're better than, what was the other one that came out? Stranger Tides. That was the one with just Cat and Sparrow. I wasn't a big fan of that one. And then whatever the fifth one was. I saw it in theaters, and it's so forgettable. I don't remember the name and hardly anything that happened in that movie. But the first 3 are definitely a must-have for your Blu-ray collection. All right, so we're in the home stretch now. Next up is Rush Hour. This is the first 3 movies. It actually has a pretty cool cover. I remember I got a great deal on this. It is actually a slip, so you have the regular Blu-ray inside of it, which is kind of cool. I like the art on it. I love Rush Hour 1 and 2, particularly the first one. But I like 1 and 2. I even like 3. I like all of them. But 1 and 2 are definitely better than the third one. There was a big span between the first 2 and the third one. There was a lot of fighting on how much Chris Tucker should be paid for this. And then once Chris Tucker realized he doesn't have a whole lot of... he can't demand the amount of money he was wanting. He settled on whatever they decided to pay him for Rush Hour 3. But either way, these are great buddy cop movies. Again, buddy cop movies have a simple formula, but it really relies on a decent plot and chemistry and interesting characters. And I like the way both of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker play off each other in this movie. This is Red Cliff. This is still in the wrapping. I had this on DVD and I upgraded to Blu-ray. What is Red Cliff? Well, Red Cliff at one point was the most expensive movie that China ever produced. This actually was released in North America at some point when I worked at Blockbuster. So It's been a while. Been over 10 years since this came out, and this is a sprawling epic. I think they spent about as much money on this as they did on Titanic, as James Cameron did on Titanic. So a lot of money put into this. A great sprawling epic. Red Cliff is amazing. Of course, if you don't like subtitles, you won't like it because it's obviously subtitled. But I really liked Red Cliff. And other than Red Cliff, we got Red. There's no cover. There's no cover, guys. I don't know what happened to the cover. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Red was that movie with Bruce Willis as a retired spy, and he's brought back into doing spy stuff. It was okay. It was good enough to where they made a sequel. I don't own the sequel, but I don't know. Again, this was actually based on a comic. Red was. All right, all kinds of technical problems here. Sorry, I had to recharge my battery, so if the camera shifted, that's why. I don't think I got to Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is directed by Edgar Wright. This is one of his best movies, if not his best movie. And by best movie, I mean my favorite movie out of the movies he's done. And if you hear really loud noises, it's because the people upstairs are vacuuming. God, it's terrible. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. You know, I'm really respectful. They think they would vacuum at a reasonable hour. Scott Pilgrim, obviously great. I love this. One of my favorite movies of the last decade. And Sherlock Holmes. This is the second one, Game of Shadows. I don't know where my first one is, but yeah, second one's not as good as the first one. Both of them are not really the best things ever. They're watchable. They're all right. I really am wondering where where the first one is. And I have Sucker Punch. I've actually never seen Sucker Punch. I have very little interest in it. This was a Black Friday pickup for like $2 or $3. Again, Zack Snyder's definitely a love him or hate him kind of guy. Like I said, if his movies are good, they're good. And if they're not, they're not. I don't know if this is any good or not. I just heard a lot of bad things, so I haven't seen it. And Salt. This is look at this back cover. Isn't that exciting? There's nothing there. Salt was the Angelina Jolie spy movie, and this is the Steelbook edition, by the way. I'm all over the place because of so many technical problems right now. Salt was Angelina Jolie. I did not buy her in this movie. And in Tomb Raider, say what you want about that. I mean, it's not very good, but at least in that you could buy her as an action hero. She had lost so much weight that I was like, you're jumping around, your bones are going to snap. So I didn't buy her in Salt, that's for sure. Speed. I recently picked this one up because I needed it. I need Speed in my collection. That's why it's still in the wrapping. Speed is a classic. Don't Stop the Bus. Great. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was a great animated movie. I love the style in it. I wasn't as big a fan of the frame rate. I think they could have chose a couple other Spider-Men to be in here. Like I would have preferred to see 2049 over Japanese robot Spider-Man. Yeah, this is good. I do think it's slightly overhyped. A lot of people are like, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever. This is the best animated movie in a long time. And like, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. I bought it after I already watched it. And the 4K is great. So if you do watch this, 4K is the way to watch it. But I do think it's slightly overhyped. It's good, but let's not get carried away now. It's great, though, compared to this one. Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, what can I say about this? The Lizard Zagoomba from the Mario Brothers movie. No, it's not very good. There are some good things in the movie. I don't mind Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I like his Spider-Man. I just don't like him as Peter Parker. I think he just is a skateboarder bro, and I didn't really like that. Emma Stone's good as Gwen Stacy. There's some good stuff in here, but yeah, overall. If you're looking for the second one, I don't own it. It's the only Spider-Man movie I don't own because I would never want to watch that again. I saw it in theaters. Terrible. One of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. So talking about something good, Taken. This is still in the wrapping because I bought the Blu-ray recently on Black Friday, upgraded from my DVD to this. Yes, they've made two other of these, Taken 2 and Taken 3. Both of them are terrible, terrible movies. However, the first one is still great, still awesome. And no matter how bad its sequels are, the first one, you can't take away how good the first one is. Adventures of Tintin. You might be wondering why this is in the action section, because this is an action adventure. more than it is an animated movie to me. I love this movie. This movie is so good. So great. This is what Indiana Jones 4 should have been. I love Adventures of Tintin. If you guys have not checked this movie out, you're in for a huge surprise. If you have a 3D TV, the 3D on this is honestly one of the best 3D movies I own and one of the best 3D movies I've seen at home. Great, great. I can't talk enough good things about this. Terminator 2, it's still in the wrapping. So I had these on DVD. I had a DVD collection, and I'm trying to upgrade to Blu-ray to high def. And I know 4K just released, although I heard a lot of really, really bad things about the 4K for Terminator 2. So most people are saying the Blu-ray is better quality. Apparently, they really botched the 4K transfer. So I was like, all right, well, let me get this one. At least have this. This. I don't have Terminator 1. I need to pick that one up. And I don't have the third one, but I do have this one. Yeah, this is the fifth one. Genesis with a Y. This had some potential. I was into the movie for the first 35 minutes of it. This is also one of those movies where the trailer just totally ruined it. They showed John Connor and what happens to him in the trailer for this. So, yeah, it's not very good. But, I mean, it's better than the one that came out this past year, Dark Fate. That I can say. V for Vendetta, Natalie Portman, great. Based on a comic book, awesome. White House Down, still in the wrapping. I actually saw this for free. They had it for free when it came out. Military members got in free to check out White House Down over the 4th of July weekend, which was really awesome. So I had a lot of fun watching this. Part of that is because they didn't have to pay anything. That obviously changes your opinion on the movie. I remember it being kind of fun. It was a lot better than Olympus Has Fallen. I hate the Olympus Has Fallen. That one's terrible. And X-Men Origins Wolverine. No, if you're looking for the other X-Men movies, they're going to be in the superhero collection section. I just threw on the action section because I didn't want it sitting anywhere near my good movies. I don't like this movie. The only thing worse than this movie is Dark Phoenix, which came out 2 years ago, right? Or last year. Came out last year. That Dark Phoenix is worse than this, but this is still terrible. I don't know why I bought it. I don't know why I own it. I don't want it. Let's get rid of it. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's my action section. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. I look forward to more collection videos coming up where I'll talk about my war movies and comedies and documentaries and all my other awesome genres that I have. Again, thank you guys so much for sticking around on this video. Thank you, subscribers, for being awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geek264, and I'll always tell you the truth.